Hello everybody, welcome back to Starfield. Well, we just got to the lodge and figured out how to get this artifact working last episode, so I think it's time to go around and sort of talk to everybody and figure out, well, what this whole organization is all about. So let's start with Noel.
Ourselves explorers, but this really is uncharted territory, isn't it?
I'd say so, Noel.
That was intense, wasn't it? The artifacts, I mean. Sorry, this must all be a little overwhelming for you right now. I guess a lot overwhelming, now that I think about it. I'm Noel. It's really nice to meet you. And thank you for bringing the artifact to us.
Well, okay, so we got a bunch of choices. Sarah said something about a place for me to stay. You seem to know a lot about these artifacts. That's interesting. I was wondering about what other types of exploration work besides the artifacts. The vision I saw, what do you think that was? Or how long have you been working on this? Let's start with, you seem to know a lot about these artifacts.
Oh, gosh. No, I mean, that's flattering. But really, we're making this up as we go. Until you arrived, we only had the two, and the vaguest sense that there was something more at work. There's still so much we don't know, and that means a lot of work ahead of us.
Okay. Well, let's see. How long have you all been working on this?
Well, Constellation's been around forever, more than 50 years now, but we only became aware of the artifacts recently. Barrett discovered the first one about 2 years ago, right under our noses. And he was the one who got this all in motion. It's a shame he isn't here to see this.
So the first one happened only 2 years ago. That's interesting. The vision I saw, what do you think that was?
Oh, right, that. If we're approaching this rationally, I suppose we'd call them visual and auditory hallucinations. What you perceived as lights and music could be overloaded neural input, your brain's attempt to make sense of something. An energy surge, some other phenomenon.
This wasn't random synapses firing. It means something.
Sure, I'm not trying to suggest otherwise. I wasn't there when it happened. I'm just thinking it through. That's okay. Now that this has happened to both you and Barrett, we can know to maybe expect it in the future. Be a little more prepared. We're all in this together now, right?
Well, I was wondering about what other type of... Well, let's see. Is there any more about... No, not really. Okay, I was wondering about what other types of exploration work besides the artifacts.
Of course. There's plenty of planets out there that no one has ever set foot on, and everything we learn about them is valuable. We have a board where we post anything specific we're looking for. A type of alien flora or fauna, or a planet with a specific quality, like if it's primed to have life but doesn't yet.
Let me know how I can help you learn more.
Well, right now nothing's off the table. Metallurgical analysis, chemical composition. I'm looking at everything. One thing I'm really trying to improve is my overall database of xenobiology. I don't know if it will help in this case, but the more we know about, well, everything, the better off we are, right? Speaking of, if you're going to be out there looking for more artifacts, you're bound to come across some interesting specimens. Anything organic, I'd be happy to take it off your hands.
Okay. How would organic research help learning about these artifacts?
I can't be certain that they will, but more data points are always a good thing. I don't want to rule out anything that could provide a breakthrough. And if it sweetens the deal, I can pay. Pretty well, too. Walter's pockets may not be bottomless, but they are pretty deep.
Okay, well, I've got some organic researchers for you.
Anything I can learn from is a help.
Do I have? Maybe, apparently I do have one. I have one. I got this some sort of sealant. Vendor sell. I guess I'll just sell it. How many do I have? Do I have more than one? No. Okay, well, there we go. I guess I just sold something. Okay. So Sarah said something about a place for me to stay?
Planning on sticking around then? Good. I think we can find a spot for you. And along the way, I can give you the very abbreviated tour. Right. So you've seen the library, obviously. Walter's quite proud of the collection, but Mateo has made more than a few contributions. Gardens are out the doors there, if you need a moment of quiet contemplation. Emphasis on the quiet part, at least usually. Let's head upstairs.
Okay.
Sebastian Banks, Constellation's founder, had this place built decades ago. It was a big to-do at the time, but most people in the city have forgotten we're here.
I hope you are satisfied with the quarters available to you.
Now, these doors were locked before. I guess she'll just unlock them. Yep, she sure did. Okay, cool. I was trying to hear what they said, but I couldn't quite make out most of it. Oh, there's a little bar here. That's cool. Okay. Okay, this is a pretty nice little place.
So this is the bar. Usually no tender, so help yourself. Within reason, of course. Now, let's see about that room. You're in luck.
Oh.
We were almost at max occupancy already, but there's still one room up for grabs. It's been nice having the place so full.
This place it doesn't feel like an alien. I mean, it feels just so old. I guess that's the point of it. This looks really cool. I mean, this could come right out of like Dishonored or some game like that, right? Like, this doesn't feel like a space game with this, but I really, really like it. I like the vibe. I like the whole bit. Like, I love sort of used up.
Okay, this'll be you. Common room on one side, so that'll be quiet, and Mateo on the other side, so maybe a little less quiet. I'm sure Sarah has something planned for each of us, so I'd better get back to it. Don't want to keep her waiting too long. Enjoy.
Okay, cool. Well, so we got our own room now. I was going to say, before she just kept on talking, I really like lived-in worlds. I've always really, really loved that about Star Wars in particular, where you can just see there's like dust on everything and a bunch of stuff doesn't work and I really love that aspect, so very cool. So this is... yeah, so this is my room. This is a super nice room. They left me some drinks for the night. That's really cool. I mean, this is great. These people are just taking me right in, no problem. No talk about money or rent or anything. They're just like, yeah, just live here. It's fine. We don't know you at all, but I guess we'll just trust you. No problem. That's cool. Okay, so I guess we just live there now. So that's pretty cool. Now, I did hear through talking to the bass player in the band I play with that
at your service, Captain.
That there is storage somewhere in here, so you can store your stuff, which actually would be really helpful because my storage is getting pretty darn full.
Well, I suppose that station in orbit has more than paid for itself at this point. Well, I suppose calling you a rock breaker may have been a bit out of line.
Let's see. I've been called worse.
Still doesn't excuse it. My frustrations lie more with Barrett. Not the first time his shenanigans have jeopardized one of our ventures. Not fair of me to take it out on you, especially since it would seem he made the right call this time. So, let's start over, shall we?
Yeah, we shall.
Dr. Stroud, CEO of Stroud Eklund, member of Constellation, and oft-times grumpy old man. Welcome aboard.
Glad to be here.
By the way, in addition to a place to stay, the Lodge has a wealth of modification and research equipment. Spacesuit customization, pharmaceutical manufacturing, testing alien substances, the whole thing. You can even fashion industrial pieces for large-scale projects, if you don't mind extracting a few raw resources from a nearby planet, that is. I'm a fan of self-reliance, so I encourage you to make use of the tools we have to build what you need.
This isn't where I expect to find a CEO.
Funny thing about companies, you build one sturdy enough, it doesn't need you there all the time to prop it up. Stroud Eklund functions quite well on a day-to-day basis, leaving me time to devote to more esoteric pursuits. For years, I was captivated by the writings of Constellation's founder, Sebastian Banks. I finally decided to do something more than admire from a distance, and so now I call the Lodge home, as much as anywhere else.
Well, what's your role in Constellation?
Me? Why, I'm the wallet. Someone has to fund all this, and all my success in business doesn't mean much if I can't put it to good use. I don't pretend to have the daring of Ms. Morgan, or the smarts of young Mateo. But I can make sure that they have the resources they need. And, as you've now seen, those resources aren't being wasted. We're onto something big here.
Well, do you think the vision I had means anything?
Up until very recently, I'd likely have dismissed it as, I don't know, hallucinations. But now, I'm not sure what to think. I don't suppose you have a history of this sort of thing, do you?
I've never seen anything like that in my life.
Yes, I imagined as much. Barrett expressed something similar in his own unique way. I'm no scientist. I leave that to the likes of Barrett and young Noel there. But I think we can all agree there's something unusual going on here. Frankly, this is the most exciting thing that's happened in years.
Huh. Well, what kind of company is Stroud Eklund?
We're most well known for ship manufacture. No expense spared. If you want the best and can afford it, you choose Stroud Eklund. Unfortunately, our success means you'll sometimes see Stroud Eklund ship modules on less than reputable vessels. They covet them. The bastards. I've tried to convince the United Colonies we can help in that regard, but they're married to Deimos Star Yards, and those old salts are stuck in the glory days.
Okay, well, that's kind of all he has to say, so interesting.
Bye.
Oh, but goodbye. So, yeah, I know we're just talking to everybody. I really want to get all the details. So there's so much to think about. So this guy, bankrolls this entire thing. The only person not here that we know of is the guy whose ship we saw, at least Haddock or something, Holic, something like that.
Barrett makes it back to us. I know
Barrett,
he gets into
that's his
trouble
name?
all the time,
Hello
and
there,
everyone just sort of accepts he'll be fine.
Walter
But still.
Stroud.
So there's one more person here that we got to talk to, and this guy in this funny little hat,
But there's really a lot of pressure on us, isn't there?
Mateo.
We have to get this right. Are you doing okay? I'm not sure anyone really asked yet. Don't want you to think we're focused on the artifacts and nothing else. You matter too. You've done something really significant bringing that artifact here. I'm Mateo, theological scholar by trade, but now, well, an explorer like you. It's really good to have you with us.
These artifacts all came out of caves?
Second one was on Kazal, buried the same as the one you found. But the first one, right under our noses for years, sitting in storage, masquerading as an oversized paperweight. Can you imagine potentially the greatest discovery in human history collecting dust?
Yeah, I actually can't imagine that. What do you make of the vision I saw?
I'm not gonna lie, I really wish I could have seen this for myself. It's hard to judge otherwise. Both you and Barrett saw something. I don't think that's a coincidence. Did it feel like it was trying to tell you something? I don't want to necessarily use the words divine revelation, but, if the label fits.
So he's definitely a religious vibe for sure. I'm kind of curious about his religious. Do you think this was a religious experience?
Not necessarily, no, but it does kind of have the hallmarks of one, doesn't it? I'm certainly not going to rule it out just yet.
I just know it's important. I can feel it.
It has to be, right? All of this is connected. We just need to figure out how and why. We're gonna get to the bottom of this. We just need more data, which means more artifacts.
What brought you to Constellation?
Well, there was some overlap in interests. I'd spent years searching for religious relics from human history. I had made a really incredible discovery, only to lose it to a greedy corporation. So I tried to steal it back. In the process, I met Walter. Turned out he owned the corporation. After a long talk, we realized we had a lot in common, and I was invited to join Constellation.
Oh, I just can't stop sneezing. I've been muting during all of these talks because I cannot stop sneezing. I think this does not bode well for my allergies on my gig tonight. But okay, so I think we've now talked to everybody here. Yeah, you too, Mateo. Okay, so let's go over here and now talk to Sarah, who might be the leader of this whole thing. I'm not sure. I know she's not the financer, but that's Walter Stroud. But let's talk to Sarah Morgan.
So, Are you ready to get to work? Or was there something else?
What is Constellation and what do you do?
We're explorers. Humanity has always hunted for knowledge in the unknown. We just take that a little more seriously than others. We were founded decades ago by a man named Sebastian Banks. He wanted a small group of people from all corners of the settled systems dedicated to the biggest question of all. What's out there? These artifacts could be everything we've been looking for. Another great secret the universe is asking us to unravel.
Okay, well, how well known is Constellation?
I don't know what you've heard, but I can imagine. First of all, I think you can dismiss any stories about us no longer existing. I don't believe in smearing our name everywhere we can. Exploring the universe, charting the unknown, that's what counts. Besides, having a little mystery gives us room to maneuver. A fixed reputation could fence us in a lot of ways.
Well, what do you know about the artifacts?
Not much, but you've seen them for yourself. It doesn't take a lot to realize we're dealing with something extraordinary. Just what that is, we'll have to figure out. It's what we do.
Huh, okay. Let's see. I think I'm ready. Yep, we did everything. I'm ready.
We're going to be doing some old-fashioned detective work. The artifacts are relatively inert once they're out of bedrock. That means people can pass them around, not even knowing what they are. I've been letting my contacts know to be on the lookout for strange metal objects. Get back a lot of noise, usually. But a tip from the UC Vanguard sounds promising.
What's the UC Vanguard?
A volunteer force that helps defend the edges of United Colonies space. They're always looking for recruits. Lots of retired veterans and dangerous professionals mixed in with part-timers who barely have a laser cannon welded to a hull. My contact is in the recruiting office, so he hears a lot about what the volunteers are up to.
Huh. Other people have artifacts?
We have to assume that we're not the only ones to have stumbled into this mystery. But most people aren't going into space looking for the unknown. They're looking for places to settle, resources to extract, territory to defend. An odd-looking rock or a single strange hunk of metal wouldn't mean much to them. That's why Constellation exists, in a way, to put pieces like this together.
Legwork never pays off quite the way you'd expect.
You've done this before, eh?
Yeah, I'm a
Wise
former bounty
words.
hunter, remember?
We watch each other's backs. We'll be fine. But it's not just that. I want to take this opportunity to see how you handle yourself, and for you to learn more about us. I'm going to be sticking with you for this.
Oh.
We'll be traveling together until we either find an artifact or this lead runs dry.
Okay. Well, what do I get out of this anyway? Does Constellation have a salary?
You mean besides the ship, the robot, and a place to stay all rent-free? We do have some funds we can disperse from time to time. Not to mention, I think we can get you a proper suit.
Oh.
We're explorers. We keep a lot of equipment on hand for that purpose. So the more you work with us, the more we can share what we have.
Okay, cool. Well, got it. You and me until we get that artifact.
We'll need to head to Mast. Check in with the Vanguard recruiting office where my contact works. And listen, whatever you were before or whatever you do once you're out there, I don't care. So long as you don't bring UC security to our doorstep. Every member of Constellation is their own conscience. Understood?
What do you mean? You don't care if I steal as long as I don't get caught?
I mean, Constellation has a roster of members who haven't always been on the right side of their respective society. We're risk-takers. Some of us have seen the inside of a jail cell more than once. If you join us, it means you're committed to our mission. In exchange, we give you latitude in your choice of means.
Huh, okay. Understood.
Good. Let's take a little stroll through New Atlantis, shall we?
I guess we shall. Okay, well, come on, Sarah. Let's, you're kind of blocking me there. Okay, let's
You
go.
are satisfied.
Yeah, I'm very satisfied.
Orders
It's very nice.
available to you.
Let's go and go to Mast and just, see what we can discover. I'm curious to how, this organization seems, Constellation here, it seems like a really good organization, right? It seems like we're like the good guys, but are we? I don't know. Varun Zealots. Who's talking? This guy?
Is it real? Not if I know, but they think it is, and that makes them dangerous.
Huh. Who's he talking to? So Varun, that was kind of interesting. I wish I could pull that back up. The Varun people are like religious zealots about a snake or something. So let's make sure that we're on the right quest here. This is talk to Sarah's contact. That's what I want to do. I have a bunch of other missions available to me. I could do some side missions, but since Sarah's here with me, sort of running behind me, let's go try to track down and see what her contact has to say. I am curious about to kind of the main story. I mean, I want to get out there and explore too. I really do. I want to sort of explore the world and all that. But let's check out Sarah's contact first. Another thing though is I saw when there was dialogue going on that I have a sprain that has like improved. I totally forgot. It was like 2 episodes ago that I tried to jump down the side of a cliff and I sprained my ankle or foot or something, and I didn't think much about it until this. So I wonder if I've still been dealing with that. Like, do I have lesser health perhaps because of that strain? I don't know, but it's very interesting. Okay, here's this contact. Let's see what he has to say.
Another space explorer. Hey, you ever think of joining up with the Vanguard? Help the United Colonies, earn some credits, even get your UC citizenship?
Maybe later. We have Constellation business to discuss first.
All right. Can't blame me for trying, right? I mean, I still haven't given up on getting Sarah to re-enlist.
It's a game we play. He asks, I say no.
Here's what I got for you two. Vanguard volunteer by the name of Moera. Helps patrol the old neighborhood. Sol, Mars, Neptune, you know.
The Sol system? Which admiral did he upset to get that posting?
He's Martian, born and raised. Not like I can get anyone else to care. Word is he's got some fancy metal ornament he's been showing off to the old grounders.
Oh.
Matches that description Sarah gave me.
Oh, okay. Let's see. Who's this? Is it Moara?
Oh, he goes way back. I think he was recruit number 81 or something.
Is there more? No, there's not. If he's on patrol, he could be putting our item at risk.
What? Nah. Sol system is as quiet as a coffin. It'll be fine.
That means it's not going to be fine.
I'm sure
That's
you
true.
two can handle
She's
it.
seen movies before.
Sol system is a lot of planets, but a vet like Moera will be checking in at Sidonia on the regular.
You mean hitting the bars, don't you, John?
Hey, nothing wrong with a little refresh between patrols.
Okay. Anything you can tell me about Sidonia?
Yeah, bring a coloring book. Get so used to seeing red, you'll forget what blues and greens look like.
Is Sidonia on Mars? I guess it is, huh? All right. A bar in a spaceport sounds like home.
It's definitely a lifestyle, burning helium out there, seeing where the stars take you. I'm serious about that recruitment offer, by the way. You just come talk to me when you're ready. UC is a good friend to have.
Huh. Okay. Well, then. Okay. Well, Sarah, what do you think?
Been a long time since I've been to Mars. Sol system doesn't get a lot of traffic.
Okay.
Goodbye.
Okay, let's go. So apparently we are headed to the Sol system. Now, again, I need to check my log and see if it's automatically there. So I need to go to Sidonia. Now, so we're heading to Mars, and that is very interesting to me. I've always been super intrigued by Mars, IRL, and so, I assume that if they were going to put, time in making any planet really, realistic or whatever, I would think, where are we going? We're going down there. How do I even get down there? They would make Mars and, Earth or Venus or whatever, any other planets very, very, very realistic. So I wonder, do we go down here? Is this
Welcome
the
to
way?
Mast. If you haven't...
Choose floor. I guess I'm looking for... I want to go down. Would that be this? What is that? I don't know. I mean, that's lower than where I am. That kind of makes sense. But what the heck? Where are we? What is this? Vanguard registration. I'm not in Vanguard. I don't even really know what Vanguard is. So please speak to Commander John Tua in mass lobby to begin the application process. Okay, well, can't do anything with there. Can I talk to these guys? They're applicants. Huh. Okay, what is the end? Whoa, hold on. What is this? The end of Earth?
In 2150, humanity learned the Earth's magnetosphere would collapse sometime in the next half-century, eliminating all life on the planet.
What?
Decisive action was required, but the secure transport of an entire civilization would demand a new kind of cooperation, a new kind of courage, and a new kind of union.
Whoa, no.
In 2159, the United Colonies were formed to make that journey possible. Just one year later, the Galileo, the first of many colony ships, touched down here on Jemison, beginning a new era of human history, the age of the United Colonies.
Okay, I am
The
super...
planning it must have taken to evacuate literally the entire planet. Can you imagine? The logistics alone must have been mind-boggling.
Listen, I am super into the story there. Like, I was been wondering what happened to Earth. So the magnetosphere broke. This is great. I mean, sorry if the lore in the world building is not your bag, but I am into this. What is this?
The United Colonies strove to provide all their citizens with opportunity, security, and peace. But there were those among the UC that still wanted something more. Independence. So in 2161, the UC issued the Centaurus Proclamation, granting UC citizens the right to settle distant worlds and form their own sovereign powers. It wasn't long before the first new faction, the Free Star Collective, was formally organized in 2188, later followed by House Varun, revealing themselves to the universe in 2230.
Wow.
The Centaurus Proclamation has always left me torn. So much conflict arose as a result. Was it worth it?
Oh, man. So the United Colonies they gave up power. And in this world and every world, no one ever gives up power, right? So they gave up power and let people strike out on their own. Maybe the United Colonies, maybe they are really good guys. So here's House Varun. This must be what they generally wear, so you can identify that. That's super cool.
It was only in 2230 that the faction known as House Varun first made contact with the rest of the settled systems. Founded by the passengers of a colony ship that had left New Atlantis and disappeared 4 decades earlier, House Varun was a faction unlike any other.
Huh.
A theocracy dedicated wholly to the beliefs of its isolationist founder, Janan Varun. House Varun initially made overtures of peace towards the rest of the settled systems. They claimed their only intention was to spread the word of their god, the Great Serpent. But none could have guessed that this worship might take the form of a bloody war, the Serpent's Crusade.
Okay, that's amazing. So House Varun, they follow the Great Serpent, and of course, like all great theocracies, they started a giant war against other factions. So here's, it looks like, there's a few more in this section. I'm not sure we'll get to all today.
The Collective was initially founded in 2188, when the citizens of Aquila banded together with the pleasure city of Neon in mutual defense. But in 2194, after the deployment of a UC medical star station in orbit around their world, the citizens of Narion also requested to join the Collective. The resulting rise in tensions between the Free Star Collective and UC culminated in the settled system's first intergalactic conflict, the Narion War. Despite a decisive victory by the UC, the colonies permitted the citizens of Narion to join the Collective, forming the basis for the fiercely independent union that persists to this day.
Okay, so the Freestar Collective, they just kind of want to do their own thing. These guys are isolationism. Both of them had wars with the United Colonies, because of course they did. This is all about the Narian War. Should we check this out? Okay, here. How long is this? Okay, not too long. Beginning in 2196, the Narian War, humanity's first large-scale conflict among the stars, is remembered as a defining moment for the settled systems. As the first major conflict to make extensive use of grav-jump-enabled ships, the Narian War was less defined by key space battles and more by an extended cat-and-mouse interplay between the two powers, as the well-armed and professional UC Navy tried again and again to pin down the piecemeal but savvy Freestar fleet. Unable to strike the killing blow, the UC resorted to ever more severe tactics to try to drive the collective to capitulate, but without success. In fact, after many long years of war with little to show for it, even the populace of UC itself began to turn against the cause, with protest roiling even New Atlantis. The citizenry demanding that the war finally came to a humane close. So, when at long last the final blow was struck, with the UC Navy finally cornering and obliterating the Freestar fleet in 2216. So, oh my goodness, for 20 years? It was a 20-year war? It was a haul of victory. Holy cow. It was the resulting negotiations, the Treaty of Narian, that the settled systems, as we know them today, emerged, both literally and figuratively. Despite winning the war, the UC found themselves in the unenviable position, painted as brutal aggressor even in their home systems. So, in the spirit of unity and lasting peace, the UC agreed to the demands of the Freestar Collective and the Narian settlers, whose collusion triggered the conflict in the first place, and handed over the Narian to the collective as they had requested at the start of the hostilities, including the Clinic Medical Star Station, creating the Freestar Collective as we know it to this day. In return, the UC demanded two concessions. The first was payment for damages done in the form of mineral rights on multiple worlds across the galaxy. Okay, the second, more significant demand is that no great faction may ever colonize more than 3 systems. Oh, so they did change their tune after saying, yeah, go out and do your own thing. But now they're like, yeah, okay, only 3. The UC would have Alpha Centauri, Sol, and Wolf, and the Freestar Collective, Chene, Vole, and Narion. Only 3 systems, The Freestar Collective agreed to these terms, creating and codifying into law the settled systems as we know them today. The Treaty of Narian has since become the foundation of all contemporary political relations, and it's the only official violation, the cause of the galaxy's greatest conflict, the Colony War. To learn more about the Colony War, please proceed to the Conflict Among the Stars mural. Wow. So fascinating world building stuff. I think what we're going to do is leave off right here, come back next episode and pick it up right here and just continue learning about this enormous world that they have created for us to play in. Okay? We'll see you next time. We'll learn about the Serpent's Crusade. Oh yeah. Okay. If you're enjoying this, leave a like down below and let me know if you want me to continue with all the lore or just get to the action already. But I think I know what I'm going to do. Anyway, we'll see y'all next time. Love y'all.